Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and check on our last one over here. This one is what we call our honey soffit. So let's take a look. There's no inner lid on this one, so we just have a couple little screws holding the lid up. And the numbers are looking good, so that's a good sign. We'll go ahead and peek it through and make sure everything's looking good. A little bit of cross comb that I'm just cutting ahead of time, so that way it doesn't slow me up when I get into it. There's some really nice, clean, brand new honeycomb that's got a bunch of nectar in it and some pollen. You see that. And then this side's got a little bit of comb drawn out right here in the middle. We're gonna go ahead and set this one off to the side to give me some room to work in so I don't smush any bees. This next one is just barely starting to get drawn out. They actually got a little bit of nectar in the few cells that they do have here. Yep. These two black frames right here are the ones that we replaced the feeders with, and that's why they have little to nothing on them. And we always like to have white frames on the outside and then black on the inside, because the black frames are a lot easier to spot the eggs in. So we have white frames, so to use them up we put them on the outside, because normally that's where they store the honey and the pollen and all that. But sometimes they do get out there and lay some eggs in there. But these next two frames got nothing in them pretty much. This one's got a little bit of drawn out comb, slapped full of nectar, a little bit of pollen in there. Go ahead and get into the meat of the hive, where the good stuff's at. And to me right now, good stuff is brood. Later on, the good stuff will be the honey. So here we got a frame that's 100% filled up with eggs. I don't know if you can see down in the bottom of those cells, little tiny half a grain of rice. That's the eggs. You might need your glasses to see it, but pretty much every single cell has an egg in it. So there's a queen in here and she's doing her job. This side right here, it's got a bunch of young larvae. If you look in there, you can see little worms. Those are the larvae. Around the outside, there's some more eggs. And then in the middle, there's some capped brood. So you got all three stages right here on one half of frame. So this frame right here, full of capped brood. Little missing patch there. It's got some pollen and some nectar in those cells, so that's probably why she didn't lay there. But from the looks of it, this queen's pattern is pretty much wood to wood, and she's definitely a keeper. Here's another. This is some older brood that's actually getting ready to hatch, and same thing, the cells that are missing all have something in them, whether it be pollen or some larvae or some eggs. So she's making sure that every cell has got something in it. So she's a good queen. Now this is a foundationless frame, so I got to be careful with it because the comb can fall off the frame. They have it stuck in pretty good, but still got to be careful. Same thing on this frame though, a lot of capped brood. Every cell has something in it, so she did her best to fill it all the way up. When you got a foundationless frame, you want to roll it instead of flipping it, and that'll help keep from the comb falling out. Now you're looking at the other side. There's some drone cells there, a lot of capped brood, just a lot of goodness, a lot of goodness. When you got beehives, that's what you want to see. So even though I know there's a queen in here, there's eggs, there's all the signs of a queen, I still always keep my eye out for the queen because I love seeing them. Same, this frame right here, same thing. Every cell has something in it, whether it be capped brood, larva, eggs. Same with this side. But as you can see, this is white foundation, and you can see it's a lot harder to see into the bottom of the frame, into the bottom of the cells, to see if there's any eggs, especially since the eggs are the same color white as the foundation. So I'm not seeing her yet, so we'll go ahead and move on to the last frame. See if we can find Her Majesty. Another good frame of brood. It's got some capped honey around the top of it there. There's a lot of bees loose on the whole box, so I mean there's a chance that she's not walking on this frame. She could be loose in the box. I don't see her. But like I stated, I know she's in here somewhere because there's nice fresh eggs. Yep, no queen cells. So they're not ready to split. There's a queen in here. She's laying. So for you new guys, if you don't see your queens, don't be worried. Just look for all the signs that the queen's in here. And as long as you got all the signs that she's in here, you're good to go. So now we'll go ahead and close it up. And when you're sliding your frames together, make sure you do it nice and slow to let all the bees get a chance to get out of the way. Especially since we didn't put eyes on the queen, we definitely don't want to smush the queen. Or at least we don't want to squish this queen. All right, we'll go ahead and close this one up and call this one a day.